Hi everyone! So I scored a nice deal on Wallapop for around 15 euros plus postage on these very nice looking Audio Technica wireless headphones. They are the ATH-G1WL, and the seller complained that there was some problem on the left side and that the wireless dongle seems to have issues with the connection. So let's open it up and see in what state these things are. So let's do it. Some manuals, and here we have the headset. At first sight, nothing seems broken or something. Yeah, these wires go in and out. They might be cutting, they might be with continuity issues. So yeah, these pads seem to have a lot of use already. Some sweat or something. Ugh. I'll need to clean my hands afterwards. Well, we have some extra pads. Yeah, these ones are brand new. Nice. We might use this. So this is yeah, these ones are old. I don't think we will be keeping these. Let's put them back where they were. We have a microphone. And the USB dongle that doesn't want to come off. Okay. It doesn't look to be in bad shape, doesn't it? It looks nice. This USB port seems to be very well soldered, well stuck. And yeah, so let's see if the headset powers on. I'll take these things to a side and let's plug in the microphone. Something like this. Yeah. Nice, but I don't think this would be very reliable, but yeah, they know what they're doing, I think. Well, where does this thing turn on? Okay, so we have here, they are turned on already. Yeah, so this is the muting function. And yeah, they are probably out of charge, and yeah, the USB port looks a little bit on the rough side, but yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Okay, push for surround. Let's see if it charges. Oh yeah, it has an LED on this side. Let's see if it charges and if we have any amp draw. Power bank, USB cable. Let's see what it does. Power bank with USB meter and USB micro cable. So let's see if we have any kind of amp draw when connecting this. So we have how much? Whoop, it failed. And 0 amps. Come on. Is it dead already? What happened? Okay. 0.09 amps. So is this thing... it doesn't look to be charging. I'll do one thing. I'll connect this thing to a computer, and I'll connect the dongle to the computer too, and yeah, I'll see if they are communicating and if they are receiving audio. I'll be right back. So, came back from the computer, and this thing is transmitting audio to the headphones, and they are sounding quite well actually, but I was very close to the dongle because it's in a laptop. Yeah, but it's not holding a charge. The time these contacts are failing, or the time I pull the cable, these things go immediately off. So I think we will have a problem with this USB port and probably the charging circuit or even the battery. Yeah, let's disassemble and see what's happening inside this USB port. Let's go. These things spring back. This is a bit scary, but it's off. Security Torx. What? I don't have any Security Torx bits. That's a big flaw on my tool set. The smallest Security Torx that I have is size 10. So what I'll try to do is stick a flathead 0.3 per 1.5 in there and see if it opens. Yes, it does. Of course I'm going to screw up the bit, but we need the headphones open. I might as well replace them later by Philips ones. Now we need the last bit. I'll try a different one. Okay. Eventually the other one gave in, and I think we're going to enter. So let's, yep, it's opening. It's opening. Oh yeah. We have some kind of liquid damage. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a USB port with flux. This has 2 screws holding it. Yeah, this is one of the buttons. But we will not have too much space to work with. Ouch. So these are the cables that go to the battery and to the speaker on the other side. Okay, let's see if between bat plus and bat minus we have any voltage. So multimeter, in DC voltage.
This is bad minus and this is bad plus. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. But now we have to inspect the USB port under the microscope. It doesn't look too bad on this side. Doesn't look too bad either. Let's have a look inside it. It looks okay, doesn't it? Yeah, it looks nice. What's happening here? Is it just dirty? So let's grab the power bank and see if we have any different behavior. .092 and the red light. Yeah, but if we pull up, the USB fails. Yeah, it looks like the port itself is failing, but it's just when I apply some pressure. Let me check if there's any voltage going to the battery. Whoop! It turned on. Okay, 0.124 amps. I heard a sound coming from the speaker. Yeah, maybe I just turned it on, touching the switches. And as you can see, there are 2.7 volts being sent into the battery.
A few moments later.
So now let's see, 2.8 volts, and I think it's climbing. Yeah, maybe it's just trickle charging and the battery will be okay. So I will let it go and see if it gives a full charge to the battery. I'll be back when it ends. See you soon. Well, I came in a bit later and it's charging 0.3 amps. Yeah, it was doing the trickle charge thing. Let's remove the USB and see if they stay on. They went off. Yes, they turn on. They're doing a weird sound or something. Yeah, they are working. So the battery charging circuit is working. Maybe you just have a bad contact on the USB port, which is a bit anticlimactic.
One eternity later.
Hey, it looks like it's completely charged. Let's check voltages. 4.3 volts. I think that's a bit high, but that's what it allowed the battery to go. So I'll accept that. What I'll do now is just check the USB connector and see if there's anything we can do to improve that. So, because I don't think anything else needs to be fixed here. So let's check that. The contacts look perfect. Everything looks perfect. The connection looks strong. I don't think
there's anything wrong with this USB port, unless the soldering on the back has some issues. So the soldering on the pins is over there. I will try to reflow this point and see if that improves anything. Other important thing to do is to disconnect the battery terminals before I do anything else on the USB connector, because we might short something and then we can have a shorted battery or something and things can go terribly wrong. So let's disconnect the battery. Everything is off. Now we have the board separated from the headset. It's a lot easier to work this way. Let's secure it and deal with this reflowing thing. When you're working with this kind of stuff, you want it to be well secure, and I don't have the means for that. So let's apply a bit of flux. I hope I will not burn the knob here, so I will probably have to angle this the other way. Yeah, it's probably safer to do it this way. So well, let's try this. So that was the easy part. Here are the pins, and let's try to reflow them one by one. 1, 2, 3. And the fourth one. Well, I can smell burned plastic, probably from inside the connector. It doesn't look pretty because it has these spikes, but I think it will be functional. So let's just reinforce it also on this side, or reflow it. As you can see, this iron tip is not the best one for this kind of job because it has a very low thermal mass, but yeah, it will do the job more or less okay in order to reflow everything. So let's test it and see if it still fails under movement. So I will clean it. It looks okay. That's not a pretty job, but it will tell me if this thing is with the bad contacts or not. So now let's clean on the inside as well. okay. Yeah, let's test it. Turn on the power bank. 0.05. It doesn't show a light, but I'm moving the connector and yeah, it seems that it's not failing. I think this thing is good. Well, let's connect this to the headphones and see if it comes back. At this step we need to be very careful because we can't short the battery terminals. If we do that, it means disaster. So I haven't put record on the microscope, and the footage of me soldering the wires, yeah, was not caught, so fast forward to that. Speaker and speaker. So I think this is okay. Of course I was not filming, and I'm filming right now that I've done all this. I'm now cleaning. Let's dry and test it. So I will check the voltages again. I don't need the microscope anymore. So let's test the battery voltage, and 4.2, 4.3, this is okay. Let's power it on. It turns on and it flashes. So let's see if it charges well. Power bank. Red light is on. And the red light is not failing. Yeah, I can apply pressure to the connector and it's not failing to charge. Well, I think we are done, and all we needed to do was just reflow the USB connector because everything was fine. The battery needed a trickle charge and the USB connector needed a reflow. Let's reassemble everything and test to see if there's anything that we need to do to this dongle, because in the beginning I tested it and I think it was working fine. So let's reassemble this. So a nice thing of this model is that if these buttons fell off of this part, they are exactly equal, so it doesn't matter which one goes in which way, so they can only be fitted in one position. You just need to be careful to align everything properly. So now that we are going to put this on its final position, we need to check where our switches are and align them with the groove on the button. So when everything sits in its final position like this, you can feel these switches working back and forth. So yeah, this is okay. Now you can put the two screws, the two very tiny screws that go in these two positions. 2 screws, 1 screwdriver. Maybe I've been watching too much movies. Turns on, turns off. This thing is for muting. There's another button for monitoring, but that one is here. So before I put this thing in, I'll just give it a good clean. Whoa, this blue part is really full of gunk. And if I clean it, it will look like new. Look at that, big difference. Ugh, terrible? Nice. Let's clean it. Wow. Now it shines. Nice. Now it's a tricky part where we get all those nasty security screws that I'll try to find replacements, not to have to use them, because I don't have a Torx security bit. But if I need to do anything, I will grab a small drill and drill out the small pin on the inside of these screws. I don't see the point of having them inside a product if we have Phillips screws on the outside of the product. Usually it's the opposite. You use these things to avoid people to get into, to steal technology from the inside, but when you are trying to steal technology, you just break the thing apart. Torx security bits won't stop you. Let's try to find replacements. There's just something that can guess that you will need a screw that doesn't exist on your inventory. There's a Murphy law for that or something. Yeah, you will never have the right side screw. Well, I might just drill a bit inside of those, and I will use a normal Torx. Weapons of mass destruction. Something like this. Yeah, it's catching okay, so our 3 screws are modified. So we can now reassemble this. Perfect. Perfect. And perfect. The pin was not well removed, but yeah, it worked in the same way. So we need to put in the felt pad again. So yeah, everything needs to fit inside, and the felt pad is under pressure. This last one is a bit stronger. Yeah, I don't know why. Well, it looks nice. I'll just clean them and connect them to the computer to test. Let's give them a good clean, and then we'll go to the PC for testing. Let's see if they still turn on. Yep, we have a blue light and it flashes. I think it's searching for the dongle. So let's go to the computer and test them.
Everything is working fine. The sound quality seems quite good, even though I don't have the padding and I'm just with the plastics against my head. But there's still a problem. That is this freaking thing. If I leave it still on the computer, it's okay, but if I tilt it, the connection goes and comes in a very easy way. So this thing is really solid and I can't understand what's going on in here. Yeah. We will need to go into the microscope to check if this plug is okay. So let's do it.
The connector itself doesn't look that dirty, but the contacts are greenish because I think there's some kind of oxidation in there. Those contacts look slightly greenish to me, and when I look at them with the naked eye, I can see a greenish tone on them. So I will try to find a way to clean this on the inside. Maybe we can use some of these dental brushes with IPA or contact cleaner. Let's try these ones first. I'm not so sure that these things are okay, but well, let's clean and test. And I think I can do that by connecting it directly into the power bank. So let's test this thing on the power bank and see what it does. If I move it up and down and side to side, it's not failing. Yeah, the slightest touch on the computer will make it lose the connection to the headphones and turn off, but this time it seems to be working fine. So I'll give it a final test on the computer.
Yay! Success! It was just dirt. Awesome. Yeah, thinking well, this thing came from Spain, from the area with all the storms and all the tragedy happened. So yeah, this might be caught in the flood or in all the moisture that was there, uncontrollable. So yeah, this may be caught in the middle of the storm, and just the oxidation make it work a lot flawed, and the owner thought about selling it for a small price. But yeah, we scored a nice headset for a very decent price, and all it needed was a reflow of a connector and some cleaning. So I'm very pleased with that. So let's reassemble some new pads and hear some good music. Let's go.
So let's install the new foam pads, and you just need to get this lip into this groove, starting from bottom to top. I always like to put this sewing to the bottom and start. Lots of motorcycles, yeah, and start working your way up to the top, and there you go, it's one done. I hope they were blue like the originals, but these black ones are very discreet and nice too. This blue ring came out very pretty. on both sides. Yeah, it's quite nice. Just need to clean some minor details. Yeah, very pleased with that. So let's put the second one. Put this thing on the groove. Whoops. Yeah, you should be careful, otherwise you can rip it. But it's always better to work from the bottom to the top, and then you stretch it on the top and they go in the groove. Yeah, that's nice. Let's see if they're comfortable. Yay, they are quite insulating from the exterior, so this feels like those security headphones, the sound muffler ones. Yeah, this yeah, I think this will be very good for video editing, because I know that my videos have some sound issues, some sound problems, so I will try to make them better now. Very happy with these ones. Very pleased also with the microphone. Let me see if I can fit it. Yeah, microphone has a very decent sound quality, and yeah, for 15 euros plus postage, this is a very nice score. I'm very happy with it. So I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!